Oh, you guys got hats and shirts.
This is gonna be part of the store. This is RIDDIM LA, the brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's cool. That's dope.
All right, so what's up, guys? RIDDIM Project. This is Lex.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're doing pretty well.
Good. Oh yeah.
So, you just came here from school?
Yeah, I just got out of school. I go to school at Garnish. It's on Melrose Ave, I think. It's like right in Melrose. It's super nice. I love it there. It's awesome. I super recommend it for anybody that's like starting to produce or trying to produce. It's a really great school.
For sure.
You started there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last month. So.
What made you kind of go into that school route?
That school route. So, where do I start? So I downloaded Ableton in like June or July, I want to say, and
This year?
Yeah, yep. I just got it a few months ago, and I went back home for the summer because I'm from Rhode Island. I grew up on the East Coast, and so I was kind of just doing it on my own, like just like through YouTube videos and tutorials and stuff like that, and like it just got to the point where I was just like, I need someone to be with me, you know what I mean, and just like kind of like help me through it all and like just get like a clear like
direction more than
anything, exactly. So I wanted to go to Icon, but I heard about Garnish, and Garnish isn't as like pop as Icon, you know. It's more like it's super intimate. Yeah. So it's super intimate. There's like 4 people in my class. It's like, yeah, it's awesome. It's super one-on-one. It's perfect. And like each of us, we're all doing a different genre, you know. Like there's a dude that's like in his 30s doing rock, and then there's me who's doing like rhythm and dub, and then there's another dude who's doing like hip hop. And so, you know, it's super good though.
So did you always grow up listening to electronic music, or were you influenced by other things like that, hip hop, rock?
So, yeah, I actually grew up listening to all different types, all styles of music. I was definitely that kid on the back of the bus listening to Skrillex, like in my headphones, like hell yeah, like super into dubstep. But it's kind of funny because before I moved out here, when I was back at home, I think I was in like 7th grade, and it's kind of a funny story actually. My friend was like, hey, like, do you want to go to this show? Like, Avicii's playing. He's like this really cool guy, like whatever. So the day of the show, he actually canceled, so we couldn't go to that. But like 2 years later, same homie that I had was like, all right, we're gonna go to this show, and it was Datsik. So my first rave was Datsik, and I remember like just in high school and in school in general, like I always felt kind of like different than everybody, and I always felt like it was kind of hard for me to connect with the people I was around and with. And like I remember when I walked into this venue, I was just like, holy shit, like this is like my people right here. This is like my world that I'm like trying to be in, you know. So like I started listening to a lot of trap. I was like super trap queen in high school. I loved trap. I like knew about dubstep, but kind of just like the older dubstep, not like, you know, what it is now. But so yeah, I was just super into trap, and I came out here after I graduated high school, and that's kind of when like I opened my eyes to the other genres of EDM. And it's kind of funny because I went to this event that was like an all-day event, and I went for Boombox Cartel because I was like super into Boombox back then. I love them.
They're sick.
Yeah. So I was super into them, and so Funkcase was closing that show, and like at the time I had no idea who Funkcase was. I was like, who is this dude? Like, had no idea. And so after Boombox played, I was like right up at the rail, and I was like just waiting for Funkcase. I was like, who's this dude? And he comes out, and he's all like, yo, like, this is Funkcase, and like, this is your death. And I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, like, I'm ready, like, whatever. And he destroyed my life that night. He like completely changed me. I was like, ever since then, I've just been super into dubstep and like heavy bass.
His energy's so dope.
Yeah, he's like one of my all-time favorite. After that, I like got super into him and like learned about like Deep Himo and like learned about all that kind of like more underground shit. And like after that, I was just like, you know, like this is my new thing.
So you mentioned something about like noticing that you were different, like from an early stage.
Yeah.
That I would say so myself in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Were you also one of the only kids, listening to electronic music?
Yeah, well, even now to this day, like, RIDDIM is a foreign language out there. Like, like, there's no scene out there, and that's, like, another reason why I came out here to pursue it, is because there's nothing over there, like, it's all in LA. That's, like, it's where it's at here.
What was, like, your childhood like growing up in Rhode Island?
What was my childhood like? So, when I never, like, consecutively played an instrument and, like, made music like that, but I started dancing when I was 3, and ever since then, until I moved out here when I graduated, I was literally, like, my life was in the dance studio. Like, I was always in the dance studio, like, went to school, came home, like, just was always dancing, so I was kind of just musically inclined because of that. But I always knew that I wanted to be in the industry, but never really knew, like, how to go about it, just because there is no scene out there, you know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't until out here that I actually started pursuing it. But I was super artsy in high school. Like, throughout all my life, I was super into, like, expressing yourself through art and just, like, creating shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Did you do the dance thing a lot?
Like, what do you mean?
From, like, 3, did you do, like, all your
Yeah, like,
okay.
every day, all day. So I was in a dance team until last year when I started, like, seriously taking this seriously.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been competing since I was 12. I've done, like, every subject of dance. I mainly do hip-hop, but I've done everything. And I did that, like, all day, every day. That was literally, like, my whole entire childhood. So.
When did Insomniac come in for dance?
Insomniac, well, it's funny, because when I came out here, I literally went nuts. Like, I went crazy with raving, just because, like I said, there's nothing out there, and here it's like the people in LA don't understand how spoiled we are, like, how many shows and how many great people come here literally all the time, like, every single day. Like, literally, you can go to a show, like, when I came out here, I was going to, like, 3 shows a weekend. Like, somehow I was, like, making that happen. Like, I was literally going nuts. Like, I went to so many shows, and I did all that, and I went to Nocturnal, Escape. Like, I went to all the, I didn't go to EDC, but I went to all the smaller Insomniac events. And so I was signed up for their, like, email subscription list, and they had a performer, like, looking for dancers and performers or whatever. So I was like, hell yeah, like, I'll do that, So I just went to the audition, and from then I just started dancing with them. So I've been doing that for, like, a little over a year now. I've done pretty much all of them. I've done EDC twice, Escape, Beyond, Nocturnal. I went to Mexico with them twice. I did EDC Mexico. I did Wastelands Mexico, which was interesting. All hard style, but but yeah.
Is that all inclusive?
Yes, to Wastelands, because it was only me and one other girl. So for that, yeah, we got flight, hotel, basically everything but, like, food and stuff. I mean, we got food, like, on set and stuff, but outside of it, we had to pay for our own things. But other than that. Mm-hmm.
So do you take something like that as a job, or is it one of those things that is almost so fun that you don't even really feel like you're working?
Well, I'm trying to be on stage, like, I'm trying to be the artist on stage, having dancers for me. But for right now, like, it's just something, like, I love to do, and just something that I want to be doing, not like a career path, but.
Do you think that's kind of, like, helped get you in the industry?
Yeah,
gave you more like a stepping stone?
Yeah, that's definitely something that has gotten me to where I am now, for sure.
When did you decide that you were going to go all in with this music stuff?
Well, when I went and saw Dadsig, like, that first time I told you about, I remember just looking up there and being like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, that is what I want to do. But like I said before, never really knew how to pursue it, because you can't really pursue anything in Rhode Island like that just because there's no scene and there's nothing out there. So when I came out here, also just one of those, like, email subscription things, like a group of promoters, like a promotion team, I got an email from them that was, like, looking for DJs and promoters. So I was like, yeah, like, that's my way in, because I didn't really know how to, like, go about it, I didn't, like, know anyone that was at that level yet that could help me out or anything. So I just kind of, like, went to that meeting, and the day after that meeting, I met up with a couple of kids that I met from there, and they taught me how to mix. And like right after that, I went to Guitar Center and like bought myself a little Serato SB2, like the super intro, like beginner mixer. And so yeah, since then I've just been, mixing and just meeting people and stuff. And yeah.
Who were like some of the first couple people that you met when you came out here, as far as music?
Music?
Yeah.
Let me see.
That helped you out,
Definitely Nick, my friend Nick. There's a couple other people, but probably shouldn't go into that. But definitely people from Wasted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That played a key role, you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
How so? Playing shows or like the marketing type stuff?
Well, definitely mixing and producing, just like in general, Marketing, I've just kind of been teaching myself along the way, I guess. But with connections, more just like kind of going out and meeting people myself, and like obviously social media too is like a good platform for meeting people and making connections like that. But yeah.
How is it as a female in like the industry? Considering there's like not a lot of heavy bass like dubstep producers.
I mean, obviously like the music industry as a whole is super male dominated, and especially dubstep and RIDDIM in the scene, it's like 98% men. Like, so it's obviously hard. Like it's harder for people to take you seriously and actually like, want to actually listen to you for who you are instead of just like superficial reasons, I guess. But I got so much respect and I got hella love for all the girls in the scene, no matter what genre, no matter what, just because like it's hard, like it's definitely harder to get yourself out there and be respected on that level.
Do you feel like it's a lot tougher to do that as a female, like to get the respect?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How so?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like it's gotten better?
Like with me personally, or just in general?
Just in general, like lately, people like Rez.
Yeah, I think so. But I think in general, still, it's harder. Just like until you're at that level, like once you're Rez, like you're Rez, like everybody's gonna take you seriously. But like when you're trying to make it and you're in the process of like, getting to that level.
Are you talking about doubters more than anything?
Doubters, yeah, I definitely deal with a lot of those, but mainly just like, I don't know, I feel like being a female can even, like, it can almost be better in some ways, like if you are a good female artist. Some men I've heard personally be like, oh, it's easier for girls if you're good, but like from personal experience and just like from what I can see, I definitely don't think that way. I think it's like, because people think you're a girl, like you're not going to be as good, that kind of thing. Like, it's just not being taken seriously, and like people try to use you for different reasons. So.
Have you had any type of conflicts like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically based on gender?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's like people want you to do things for like another thing that you're not trying to do. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, like favors people want you to do for them. And it's just like to be strong-minded as a girl. I mean, every girl that's in the industry is strong as hell. Like that's like no doubt about that, because like every female is going to go through that, like every single one, some worse than others, but so.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that I think you're putting in the work to just kind of like say like kind of like fuck you to everybody else,
Yeah.
Because like you're right, there is probably like a lot of doubters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're pushing through.
I'm trying.
How do you go about this then? If basically, it seems like you already know that this is something you were going full on into,
mm-hmm.
something that came with it, whether you wanted to or not. If you wanted to do music, how do you deal with it?
How do I deal with not being affected by it?
The negativity?
You just gotta be strong. Like, you just gotta, like, I've been through a lot of kind of similar things just growing up in general. So, like, I'm pretty strong with that kind of stuff anyway. So like, if people say some bullshit to me like that, it just doesn't really faze me. It doesn't really affect me. And I like know what I'm doing and I know where I'm headed. And like, you just gotta believe in yourself and like know that you're worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not like what people are gonna try and tell you, because there are gonna be haters no matter what. Like people are always gonna hate no matter what you're gonna like, what you're trying to do, like who you are. Like there's always people that are gonna hate and they just feel threatened. You know, it's more of like it's like a deeper rooted issue within themselves, and that's why they're hating on you for it. You know what I mean? But
what are you doing like from a music perspective? What are you doing right now?
Where am I at right now?
Besides like the school part, what
so
are you
I'm
doing?
in producing school right now. I have about 3 tracks that are getting finished. I'm hoping to release one around Halloween time. I'm still trying to like perfect them and get them where I want them. But producing is just, it's a process, like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's never there. Like, it's never perfect. It's never like, oh, I made it. Like, I'm done. Like, you know, like, you're always learning. You're always getting better. So, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get to the best of where I can be at right now before I start releasing stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really a common theme about people. I mean, do you know when a song's finished? Or are you just kind of like, all right, well, I think it's just done. I'm going to put it out there.
I think that kind of has to do with, like, feedback from other people.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, once you're at the point where you're like, this is the best it can be at, like, let other people kind of be like, all right, yeah, that's good. Like, get, like, another ear for it. You know what I mean?
So when it comes to deciding whether a track is good or not, do you take somebody else's word on your own music harder than your own word?
No.
Or if you think it's banging, like it's banging?
See, I know a lot of people that kind of have to get that, like, outside, like, what's the word? Like
comfort?
Yeah, like confirmation. Yeah, like, yeah.
I was trying to think about it too.
Like, the C word. Yeah, like confirmation, and like if other people like it, then like they'll send it. But like me, it's totally like I have to like it. My opinion of it matters more than anything else to me. And I'm like super hard on myself. Like I'm really hard on myself, especially when it comes to music. So like, you know, I'm gonna be like my hardest critic. So
that might be an artist thing in general.
Yeah,
I feel like
sure.
a couple people have come in here and been like, I'm super hard on myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can never put music out for that same reason.
But it's because like we're passionate about it, you know, and like you really care. Like when you really love something and really care, like you want it to be your best. You're not just gonna bullshit something just to like be done with it and just to like have it out there, you know. Like as an artist, like you need to be putting your heart and soul into it, and like you're trying to like convey something, you know. And like as an artist, when you are doing that and you're putting your everything and your true emotions and not doing it for like other reasons, not doing it for like clout or some stupid reason, like, you know, and you're actually like doing it because it's your art and you're putting yourself into it, then like no matter what, other people are gonna feel it. Like no matter if it's like what you're trying to convey or whatever you're trying to like give out, people are gonna feel it and they're gonna be affected by it in some way. I think that's just like kind of like being an artist, I guess.
Yeah.
And making art. That's like what art is all about.
The purpose.
Music.
Connecting with people. You mentioned Skrillex earlier. Was he like one of your first influences?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely listened to him back in the day.
We're totally down the street from the Owl's a Good store.
Yeah,
oh, really? Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that on the way
away.
here. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, shit. But yeah, that was definitely like my first introduction to EDM. And then, like I said, I was super into trap just because I didn't know. And like, I mean, not to say that
during during what years was that?
That I was into trap.
Yeah, because I feel like that was probably like the big years during.
Yeah. It was when I was in high school. I graduated
so
3 years ago.
Like GTA and Floss.
Yeah, literally,
yeah,
exactly.
that was like the peak of trap because we were into that shit too at that point.
Yeah, so it wasn't like any of this really was
a
thing yet. But once I did discover this world, I was just like, yo, what was I doing? Like, not that it's like, no, I don't want to say like it's like better, but also like
it's
like
better,
music is
better.
subjective, you know, like yeah, honestly, but
okay, so what about dubstep and RIDDIM makes it better than trap? In
Well,
your opinion?
I don't want to say it's better. It's not.
You said it.
You agreed.
You said it.
You agreed.
You said
So
it.
you agreed. So we're both on the same page.
Music is totally like subjective. It's like it affects everybody.
very
It's
true.
like music is an emotional trigger. Like triggers emotion and like memory and makes it something like that you can connect or relate to. That's why it's different for everybody. And like, I don't know. I just personally I like dubstep more, but I don't want to say it's better.
It's better to you. It's better to me. It's better to you.
Yeah, it's probably better to all of us. But
Okay, so what about it makes it better to you?
I just like the heavy bass. I still really like experimental trap, like Yeti, Toadface, like all those kind of people. Like I love experimental, just heavy bass music.
Just loud music.
You know, just loud.
Are you out there like just headbanging?
I used to be like that. I totally used to be like that, but then it got to the point where I was like, okay, like
I'm gonna retire.
not even retire. Like if I'm feeling it, like I totally will. But like if I'm out, like you know, I don't want to be acting a fool. Like,
I feel it.
Like
So,
as myself now.
do you ever miss that part of it?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes I just don't care. I'll just go out and I'll just do it, and it really doesn't bother me. But yeah.
Does it feel different? Like now? You're so involved with it?
Yeah, I understand. I just have a totally different eye and like ear for music now, where it's like when I'm at a show, I'm like thinking instead of like just like going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm literally like paying attention to the mixing, like paying attention to that kind of shit. So like I'm not just as like crazy, you know? And I'm definitely like settled down a little bit more as a person just anyway.
That's definitely been with us too. Like going to shows like 2-3 years ago when we were just going to just like, you know, have fun, like listen to the music as opposed to now where we're talking to people, like, you know, just having conversations with people and just like listening to the music.
Yeah, it's more about like the connection, like
Exactly.
you're like connecting
It's more
with
about
people.
the community and like everybody in there.
Yeah,
How do you
for
think the community is in the like dubstep rhythm?
How do I think
like,
it is?
Community, yeah.
I hate mosh pits. I'll tell you that. I hate moshing. I just
Why?
hate. I just don't. I like want everybody to be happy. I'm like, why are you guys fighting?
Like,
no,
it's too much energy
I get it.
for
I
everybody
get
to
it
be
though. I
happy.
totally get it. Like I totally get it. But it's funny. I love angry music, but I'm just not an angry person. So like when I like sometimes I'm just trying to have my room and like just chill and like dance and like there's people like running into me and like knocking me over and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to like chill right now, you know? But I think it's good. I think it could be better. I think people could be going more for the music instead of like drugs and stuff. Just because I think a lot of people, especially in the dubstep scene, are like, I mean, not necessarily, I guess, but
I think in general,
EDM.
EDM for sure.
Yeah.
But that's also a stereotype, honestly.
Yeah, but I do know a lot of people
It
that
does
do it
happen
like
that
that.
It's definitely a part of the culture.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also missing, like, I don't
No,
know.
I totally-
The
I
media
get
does
so
like
mad.
a pretty bad job of like covering
Yeah,
that,
no,
making it
me
seem
too, like,
way worse than it is.
Especially people that aren't in the world and the culture, like especially like older people, like that's all they think about. That's all they gotta say about it. And I'm like, no, like it's not.
They just hear
like
about
that.
the one death, that one festival, and it's just like, oh god, you know, like when realistically it's like one person that just fucked up, you know, like they fucked up.
Yeah.
And it just seems like bad for everybody.
And like you just gotta be responsible. Like you can't be stupid just like doing anything that anyone is, you know.
For real.
But yeah.
So as far as music, what are your plans from
My
here
plans?
to another year? Where do you see yourself?
Year. I definitely want to have at least an EP out. I'm definitely going to be dropping a lot of singles probably first. Definitely trying to play more shows, hopefully like a small festival or something. I'm definitely trying to like get into making more, I want to say like kind of experimental rhythm. Like rhythm it's very 1-2-1-2, you know what I mean? Like there's so many people trying like just making rhythm right now that you got to have something that's different about you, like your sound or something that's different, that's unique, that's going to make you stand out. So like that's just personally what I'm trying to work on, is just making my sound design super different and just making like making it not basic, I guess.
Have you found like your sound yet? Do you think?
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. It's getting there, but I wouldn't say it's like perfected yet.
How do you go about being creative from your
Being
perspective?
creative.
Like, how do you try to break those barriers and make RIDDIM, but you know, still sounds different? It sounds
Yeah, you like your own.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's so cliche, but it's just like experimenting, like literally just trying new things and just like getting ideas, like finding inspiration from like anything, all types of music, like hip hop, rock, like any kind of outside genre, and just trying to incorporate and just try a bunch of different stuff, like, you know. Yeah.
You have a show coming up, right?
I was going to.
That 10-17 show or something?
Yeah, I was going to play a show,
10-14.
but I'm not playing that
What
anymore.
happened?
Yeah.
Because
I saw that like on Instagram. or
yeah,
something.
I did make a post about it. I was told that I had to pay for the tickets that I didn't sell.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I was given like a good amount of tickets. I hadn't gotten the tickets yet, but someone else that was playing the show told me that. I didn't even hear it like firsthand from the people, so I asked them, and yeah, once they told me that, I was like, thanks, but no thanks. I was like, I used to promote. I used to be a promoter. I've tried it. I've done that. It's just not my thing. It's just like not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you do you feel like you're past that? Yeah. It's almost more stressful than helpful at this point.
Yeah, it was, oh my god, there were points when I was promoting where like I would skip school to go and sell tickets, and I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just wasting my time at this point. Like, I'll promote myself, and I'll promote the homies, you know, like I'm all down for that, like post whatever, but like when I'm promoting these like random companies that are just trying to make money off of me, and like, you know what I mean? I'm just not really about that. So
Yeah, it makes sense. So what do you? I mean, besides that show, or I guess you're not doing it anymore. But you have anything else planned?
I have possibly a Halloween show, maybe. Other than that, not right now. I'm just trying to focus on producing right now. I'm like super head into that, just because like
especially if you're in school.
It's so important. Like, you know, like you're not gonna. I don't want to say you're not gonna go anywhere, but like you need to produce to be anything or anyone. You can't just be a DJ. Like, it's kind of past that point. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You need to, and like I care more about producing. Like I'm like very driven, and when I want something, like I do it. Like I'm very, like I said, I'm hard on myself. So like I'm super motivated to like do this right now. So it's like what I'm super focused on at the moment. But I mean, so all of us are, you know.
What about DJing? You feel like you've got that?
Yeah, I mean, I could always I feel like everyone can get better in a sense, but like, yeah, mixing I definitely am not worried about, just because I have that down. I've been doing that for like almost a year now. I've already played like 5 shows, so that I'm not really concerned about, but I'm just trying to get like my own originals out right now. So
as far as producing dubstep and RIDDIM, who are you influenced by besides Skrillex? More
Besides
like the modern music.
Yeah, I like heavier dubstep. I love like Murda, like Sudden Death. I like more rhythm stuff like Ominous. I love Ganon. Like, who else? I love Code Pandorum. I love that heavy like death kind of shit. But yeah, I'm just trying to get influences from them where I can take like their heaviness and then kind of incorporate some like more experimental stuff to it and like make my own flow with it. So yeah.
Yeah, the flowy stuff that's my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Same.
Flowy stuff.
Like Infect and
even just keeping it minimal, but something about like the sound and the flow,
right.
just super dope in my opinion.
Me too. I agree.
So, anything else in particular you want to tell the people about Lexxx?
Just stay tuned. There's a ton more coming. I'm gonna, like I said, probably be releasing a track Halloween time, hopefully, and then after that I'll be releasing a few more originals, probably month by month or something along those lines. But yeah, so just stay tuned.
Cool. Excited for it.
Yeah, where can people find you like on social media and stuff?
Oh yeah. So my Instagram is Lexxx _X_X_official. Instagram is so annoying because I can't put the 3 X's together.
Well, really?
Cause something with like horn or something.
Oh, probably.
So I can't. Yeah, they won't let me put 3 in my name. So yeah, and then my Twitter is Lexxx LEXXX_official.
Surname, like your artist name is
Lexxx with 3 X's, but I just can't put that in the name on Instagram. It's
damn it.
yeah, and I like had it 2 X's at first, and then I got my name spelled wrong on a flyer, and then so I was like, I can't keep it. You know what I mean?
Fucking Zuckerberg.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm gonna like hit up Instagram. Like,
Damn it, Zuck.
That's funny.
No. All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys
Appreciate
for
you being
having
here.
me.
And yeah, look out for Lexxx. New music dropping soon. Thank you guys.